Downturns and small failures are inevitable. Ignore the potential for them and don't ever allow for true failure. Okay? So you're going to get in a situation where you have setbacks, where you have problems. And the best thing that you can do is just learn from them. But never ever allow for true failure, because true failure is going to be you quitting or you getting all the way off the path, and you never want that to happen. Next, realize that your life sucks compared to the life that you want to live. Okay, so you have desires, or you have a life that is, more tremendous that you want to go for. You're going to have to sacrifice certain things in your life now, some comfort in your life, some complacency in your life, in order to get to the life that you truly desire, that you truly want. Next, hatred is the activation energy you need to go from silent suffering in your life to motivated and driven action. Okay, so we never want to use hatred, and we never want to build off of hatred, okay, but we want to use hatred as a fuel source. If you think about the most motivated person you can imagine, they are going to have something that they love, and that thing was ripped away from them. And what that did is it built a fire in them. It built them a fire of hatred, and they used that as an energy source. Okay? Next, you have to be unbalanced to endure what's required in the suck. So sometimes you're going to have problems. Sometimes life is going to suck, and you're going to have to be unbalanced for a period in order to get through those problems, in order to persevere through that moment, through that experience of your life. And that might require obsession or an unbalanced life for a little period of time. Okay? Next, whatever your body has to suffer during that unbalanced phase that you go through will return back to normal within a week. Okay? So when you're dealing with all that unbalanced obsession and whatever, in order to solve that problem, ignore all of those emotions that come up and that bubble up, that make you feel like I can't do this, or this is, so bad for my life and whatever. Because when you come out of that unbalanced phase, you're going to be right back to normal. Okay? Next, anchor standards for yourself and hold yourself emotionally accountable for those things. Okay? Where you rip away something that you like, or some reward that you like, because you have to go do something that is so much more important. Okay, if you need to go to the gym and you eat ice cream every night, say that I will not eat ice cream tonight until I go to the gym, because that is the responsible thing to do, and I will always want you to be responsible. Okay? Next, make your standards for yourself hard every time. You always want to go out, you always want to do something hard. You want it to feel like you did something hard. Something that other people weren't capable of doing, or something that you didn't even think that you were capable of doing. And what that's going to do is it's going to fortify yourself. It's going to fortify your mind and your ability in yourself to go do hard things, okay? It should feel like you did something hard every time that you complete it, okay? You're going to build your self-confidence as well whenever you do that, okay? So go do something hard. Next, figure out what makes you happy to live life and find a way to experience that more in the long term, okay? I will always want you to be grateful. And so if you build a life that you're happy with, that you love, then you are going to be more grateful, and that's going to make your life so much better, okay? Find a way to recognize what makes me happy, and then you can start pursuing it. And if you can build that out on a long term, your life is just going to be amazing, okay? Next, you are your best asset. When you wake up in the morning, you are the most valuable thing in your house. No TV, no stove, or anything else. Refrigerator is more valuable than you, okay? You are worth more than all of those, and you are worth more than everything around you, okay? So treat yourself like that. Don't allow your best asset to be influenced by negative things, okay? Never allow something that costs $10 or $20 to influence your most important asset. Always protect your asset, your most important asset. Next, treat yourself like a human with superhuman powers, okay? So you're not a piece of glass. You can go out and you can go bend things, you can go break things. You are extremely, extremely capable. And if you treat yourself like a superhuman, you are going to recognize that you are extremely powerful. Okay? Next, go. Sometimes you just need to go. Sometimes you just have to take an action that allows you to go and that allows you to do something. Because what's going to arise is a problem's going to arise, a solution's going to arise, but what you're going to find is that you are one step closer to what you need to get to. Okay? Next, nobody cares about your opinion when they know you lie. So don't lie. If you get the vibe of a liar or someone says that someone else is a liar, you always know that I can't quite trust that person. And that person loses their influence. Okay? You never want to be the kind of person who is not trustworthy. Okay? So always tell the truth. Next, explore and find things that make you feel better than you expected. Find those experiences. Find those one-offs in your life that make you view life in a different way, that make you experience life in a completely different way, that change everything for you forever. Okay? Find those. Next, use your dopamine and lean towards drive and uncertainty. Those two are usually closely linked. Okay, so when you're about to pursue something or when you find something you want to pursue, you're going to see that there is going to be the fear of uncertainty, but there is also going to be the drive that you have inside of yourself. And you want that drive to overcome any sort of fear, any sort of doubt, okay? And you want to pursue it as a person who is strong enough to persevere through any of that uncertainty. Next, you don't know everything you need to know, and you never ever will. So you always have to keep learning. You always have to be the best student. You always have to be the kind of person who is the most quiet in the room, because the most quiet person is going to be observing the most. They're going to be picking up the most data points. They're going to be seeing reality better than everyone else is. Okay, so always be the best student, always be the smartest one in the room, and always be the most quiet. Okay, that's what's going to get you all the information that you need. Next, your life moves in phases where you concentrate your attention from one place in a long time and then you switch. Okay, so you might have that phase of your life where it's the gym phase, and then you have the max yourself out phase. You're going to have these phases in your life that you're going to have to switch between. Okay, and what's going to happen is that you're going to go through a phase and then your ROI or your return is going to go down. So what you want to do is you want to switch. Okay, and what's constantly going to happen is that you're going to have to find a new pursuit. You're going to have to find something that gives you that reward back. Okay? Next, doing hard things and controlling the negative emotion that comes from those is what makes you deserving of the more enjoyable experiences. So when you go through something hard, all those negative emotions and all that stuff that you have to feel to get through that hard thing is going to make all the positive stuff feel so much better. Okay, so go through something hard and recognize that when you're done with this, it's going to feel so much better. So when you go and you get into an ice bath, you're going to feel all of that pain, all of those negative emotions are going to come up, and that uncomfortness and whatever. But when you get out, you're going to be so grateful of just regular air. You're going to be so excited by all of the good emotions that you couldn't even recognize before you got into that bad situation where you're in an ice bath. Okay, and it's not bad, but when you get out, it's so much better. Next, look into the future as if the event had already happened and think to yourself, would I regret this? Would this lead to a bad outcome when it is over? Okay? Find those moments where you recognize that, man, if I don't do this, I'm going to regret it. Okay, you never want to be in a situation where you're like, dang, I regret not doing that. Okay? If you see yourself getting ready to regret something, take action on it. Go do it. Go solve it, because you're going to live a life that you don't regret, and you're going to do things that are going to be so much better for you long term. Okay, next. Utilize your emotional energy to drive you. Okay? There's going to be moments in your life where you feel inspired. And the second you feel inspired, use that emotional energy and go do that thing. Okay? Use it like a gas tank, and it's going to you're going to be able to control where you put your energy. Okay? So use it like a tank that's going to run out at some point. And when that tank runs out, Rely on your physical and your mental to keep you disciplined, to keep you going through that task so that you can still achieve and get the results that you need no matter what, okay? Next, moving quickly requires short-term on autopilot, it requires the midterm adjustments, and it requires long-term adjustment, okay? So what you want to do is you want to go through your life and you want to see that everything in my short-term environment needs to be automatic, and that's going to allow me to move quickly. And then I can make midterm adjustments, and that's going to allow me to focus on where I need to go long-term. And once you choose that long-term direction, stick with it.